Hello, everyone. How you doing? Well, reading chapter 4 of the Book of Signs. And so, chapter 4 is Babylon. When the luxury liner Titanic was launched in 1912, it was the largest and the most magnificent ship ever built, spanning the length of almost 3 football fields and boast an interior revealing the most opulent mission and offered its passengers unpredictable luxury, including a heated swimming pool, the Turkish bath, the squash court, and a dog kennel. The first class dining room served 10-course dinner, and first class parlor suite cost today equivalent of $50,000. But many of the world's wealthiest and the most prominent people bought tickets to enjoy the prestigious and the luxury of the ship main voyage. The Titanic was taught to be unsinkable. Those it carried only 20 lifeboats and fraction of 64 needed to evacuate its 2,228 passengers. Because the ship was unsinkable, the captain and the crew member ignored the warnings of drifting icebergs in the northern Atlantic and posted only a dismal watch on the fatal night when the ship struck the iceberg. Water immediately began gushing into the ship, flooding enough airtight, compact to make sinking edible. Evacuation began, but with limited life capacity and crew untrained, in evaluation only 750 people were saved, leaving 1,523 to perish with the ship. The tragedy of the Titanic demonstrates how man pride and lead to disaster. It was the pride in the ship decisions that prompted many rich, prominent people to make the voyage. It was arrogant to think that the ship's unsinkable. Those dismissing the need for lifeboats plowing head on through the iceberg infested waters and negligently to train the crew of evacuation. Well, we all see the chapter early in our world history as the city was founded on the same pride, arrogance, and was brought to similar annoyance at the end. The city is none other than the famous Babylon. Well, Babylon is the second most frequent mention in the city in the Bible. In the NKJV, it appears 286 times and 253 verses. The references are never positive. Babylon origin were pagan, humanistic, rebellious against God, unholy, attitude prominently adhered to the city name, making it infamous. Old Testament scholar Dr. Charles H. Dyer summarized the early parliament of Babylon. For nearly 2,000 years, Babylon was the most important city in the world. It was commercial and financial center for all Macedonian and the center of the geographic X that linked to Orient with Mediterranean, Egypt, and Persia. It described it priests spread the culture heritage throughout the known world, the arts of devastation, astronomy, so on, counting the private commercial law, all span. Hey, Mustang, how you doing? From Babylon. So Babylon no longer exists as a cultural financial powerhouse. It has influenced the world in ways that continues even today. In the first Bible of the Bible, we learn Babylon was the site of the Tower of Babel. Now, the man's first attempt to establish a world order uh, devoid of God's influence, Gen 11. In the last book of Bible, we see that all reveal Babylon will be the center of financial world order, which demonstrate the Taliban tribulation period. Why Babylon? What mystery lies dormant in the ancient fallen powerhouse that will evaluate again in the position of world dominance? Dr. Henry Morris explains Babylon indeed a prime prospect for rebuilding the entire part from the profit intimidation. Its location is the most ideal of the world for any kind international center. Not only it is a beautiful and fertile tireless effort it, Euphrates, there we go, plain, but it is near some of the world's richest oil reserve. Now, Babylon is very near the geographic center of the Earth landmass. It is within navigable distance of the Persian Gulf and is at the crossroads of three great continents: Europe, Asia, and Africa. Those are those there is not more ideal location anymore for the world's trade center, a world communication center, and a world banking center, and a world education center, especially a world capital. The greatest historian of modern time is Arnold Toynbee, used to stress that Babylon would be the best place in the world to build future world culture and metropolis. Babylon rebirth. The book of Revelation reveals that when the Antichrist sees the reign of the world's government, his administration will divide among three powers center. Rome will be his politics base. Jerusalem will be his control center of religion. And Babylon will control financial and economic hub. John lists 28 comedies that will form the foundation of Babylon world's commerce in the end of times. Merchandise of gold, silver, precious stone, and pearls, fine linens, and purple silk and scarlet, every kind of Cretan wood, every kind of object of ivory, every kind of object of most precious wood, bronze, iron, and marble, cinnamon, incense, and fragrance oil, frankincense, wine, and oil, fine flour and wheat, cattle, sheep, horse, chariot, and bodies and soul of men. The striking thing about this list is the comedies are as desired today as they were in John's time. Clearly, the list is not only lyrical, identifying the passion men have strived throughout the history. It is also a symbol of mankind in this pursuit in material wealth, and the pursuit will continue up to the moment of Christ's returns. Randy, are you on Discord? Yeah, I have Discord. Notice that the first item on the list are gold, silver, and precious stone. This may indicate coming from collapse of global currency facing a revision of pinnacle value standards such as precious metals and gems. When Babylon becomes the world's commercial center, international bank and corporation will set up operation there. Henry Morris explains. When you get a chance, send me your link. Okay. So the international bankers and corporation directors and the merchandise baron and the shipping magnet and all their host of money, worshipping, power seeking, underlying, who once traveled through orbit around New York, Genevieve, London, Paris, Moscow, Berlin, Johannesburg, Tokyo, now find like its glorious profitable to the center it all in Great Babylon. To sum up the look for Babylon to raise Phoenix like from its present obscure to become financial center of the world, but God will not allow Babylon increase in output the evil and to the plague. The world forever. Destination of Babylon will be the total of enemy of delusion, even the site where it once stood, according to the prophet Isaiah. It will never be inhabited, nor it will be settled from generation to generation. Nor will the Arab pitch tents there, nor there will shepherds make their sheepfolds there. But wild beasts and desert will lie there, and their houses will be full of owls. Partridges will dwell there, and wild goats will capture there too. Jeremiah elaborates in the dissolution of Babylon, describing it as a heap of ruins, a dry desert of horror and scorn, lair of jackal and howling hyenas. The traveler will avoid a place never again be inhabited. Hold on. It's good. What? I'll have to fix that. The reason for Babylon destination in Revelation 18, the Apostle John saw the angel descending to earth whose splendor was so radiant and illuminated the entire earth. The angel pronounced judgment upon the city of Babylon. He cried mighty with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen. The word for fallen used here, a word that means the fall instant, instantly. That is, the destination of Babylon will not take place over a long period of time. That will happen in a moment. Actually, in 1 hour, we are told to 1 hour. We are told later in this chapter why God is determined to judge and destroy Babylon. It's because He can't allow the influence of cities to His people to contaminate His coming kingdom. John identifies 5 of these influencers, which we'll consider one by one. Babylon will be destroyed because of her equality. John writes, Babylon has become a dwelling place for demons, a prison for every foul spirit, and cage for every unclean and hated bird. In Daniel's time, Babylon was infested with magicians, soothsayers, astrologers who served the king of Nubis, close advisor. This demonic cultism will multiply exponentially when Satan's public, the beast, co-opt the Babylon system. A vast web of demonic activities center the Babylon will reach out across the nation intent in possessing the minds of every person on earth. Babylon will be destroyed because of her influence. In the next verse, John add, "For all nations have drunk of wine of the wrath of fornication. The king of the earth has committed uh, foul with her, and the merchants of the earth has become rich through abundance of her luxury." We can easily imagine newspapers and TV channels loathing Babylon for enlightenment, openness, and tolerant new speak imprison for the rampage, immoral, the deep poverty that will ooze from the city like pus and sore. Jet setters will flock to Babylon, indulge bunches that will make the bunches of Vegas. I think that's how I say it. In Hong Kong, scene blend. Government of corporation will normalize those solitude pleasures and spreading their influence throughout the world. The Bible expector John Phillips believes Babylon will become the world's crime center. The crime syndicate, already enormous wealth and powerful, prodigal, ruthless, and omnipresent, will move its headquarters to Babylon. There can be little doubt in the Senate controlling the vice traffic and of the world itself into all kinds of legitimate businesses will ultimately look to be the beast of its head. In the tribulation period, influence Babylon will dominate the human, social, political, culture, economic life. The only way to rid the world of toxic contamination is to destroy the city from its view. Babylon will be destroyed because of her infidelity. Fatal. I can't talk. There's third reason God's judgment against Babylon is that her sins have reached heaven. God remembers her equality. The Greek word here is translated as reach, present, fascination, picture. It means to be glued or weld together. It's deliberate allusion to the ancient Tower of Babel, predicting the revived Babylon will build its own Tower of Sins, stacking one upon the others like brick until they reached heaven, just as God destroyed Babel's original tower. He must also demolish the unholy replica to rid infidelity of the beast. Well, I'm going to stop there. Hey, and the next one will be Babylon will be destroyed because of her influence. So, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming, Mustang, and anybody else coming. Thank you. So I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye now.